Welcome everyone to another open source live stream. As you've seen from the title, despite massive layoffs, the open source and Linux skills still in demand, probably also because so much stuff is buggy and needs fixing. And then the AI only trained with buggy code, producing buggy code, garbage in, garbage out. Anyway, in today's topic, something of that sort. I'm regularly surprised that after 30 years and 10 if not 100,000 developers, stuff does still not just build, including, like, for example, with Clangs. Of course, it builds in RT2 as patched and configured and cross-compiling and stuff, but we actually fixed all the base system to build with Clang 2 years ago, but the only constant is change and regressions. So of course it doesn't build anymore. So let's see if we can fix a couple of those. So basically all of the zero-size log files didn't build, although I think CMake I somehow... what was actually with CMake? Oh, by the way, I think CMake maybe even builds like this. The thing is also I probably should put, or also builds like this, except it doesn't. So, but also CMake I have to criticize. So basically, the thing is a little bit, you heard it before, I'm not easily impressed and maybe also more critical and perfectionist than many others. Because with CMake, the problem might simply be a freaking warning. I already worked around some, and that's also what I just wanted to say half a minute ago, which is I probably should focus more on, or like, for decades we have focused more, but in case of Clang I should focus even more, because so many packages of good old crap like cron and stuff, M4 and CPIO, and even freaking WinUtils. So much stuff only fails because the code is so vintage, right? And Clang produces more warnings. And in the case of CMake, I have seen yesterday, let's see if that is still the same thing, that failed due to a freaking warning. Now the only problem with all the freaking build systems might be CMake files. Yeah, with all dozens of build systems each time, like where was the freaking log, but here is thumb, and then so the issue with this here was here. Maybe that is a problem, maybe, which is also super silly. In that I had this already for other things, but apparently this is also now another new thing. That CMake includes warnings or standard error probably in build output, and then it simply doesn't fail, maybe potentially only because it produces a freaking warning, right? So we could work around this in two ways. So if this is the issue, which maybe it is, or do we have this in Clang even? So what I mean with this generically fixing that is, so here we have some stuff. Why does this say compile or O2? Okay, here we have, interesting, didn't even quite remember we had this code back here. So if LTO and not LTO, so this fails here. I don't quite remember what we had here. So we had probably this workaround, like this is if not compiled or optimize O2. I don't quite remember why that is in there. But so this is also like if compile or, so this, I super hate this, right? This is truly silly also from Clang. This is like every day where we can't define things, right? And because Clang should, in my opinion, also not warn. Like if you compile, you have C flags, and you could argue these are LD flags, but now for decades it's already used a compiler to link because all the automagic support libs and LTO and so on. And then it shouldn't warn, because the problem is like, sure, we humans, we could skip. Although even for humans, the warning is not nice. Like, who freaking cares whether this bloody option is only suitable for linking and not for compiling? It's like, just freaking do it. But then CMake comes in, you see it builds really longer, right? So yeah, theoretically we now need to rebuild everything again, because not that that causes another regression, but usually I have used -c for compiling, otherwise link and stuff. But yeah, that's apparently enough to potentially get CMake to work. We have a couple of more of those silly things, and years ago they built, right? It's also like the only constant is change and regressions. So Clang people emit more diagnostics, and with more diagnostics, more stuff fails. Also, in my opinion, it is a really implementation deficiency, if not to call it, or like implementation marginality, if not to call it a bug. It's like Apple new speech implementation marginality, otherwise aka known as bug. I forgot what was with binutils. So of course, again, if you're new to this channel, of course everything builds and cross-compiled as configured and patched as one of the most amazing Linux distributions. This is just new all systems Clang enablement of like as it builds a while. Which is also silly, right? Builds a while because okay, CMake build. Okay, so this was enough there. So what I meant to say some 2 minutes ago is more generic, like not focusing on quirking CMake and stuff, like basically all those YOLOing of options and stuff for Clang, quirk generically of no one unused, like basically in this case maybe we should even build with no one unused stuff, because yeah. Let's see what happens with binutils. Also, I mean, it could be that is fixed. What is nzip, by the way? Sometimes I find packages where I even wonder, is there some new zip or is it a typo? It might be a typo. Maybe I manually touched unzip because that also didn't build. Yeah, it's super old code base. It's super old code base and low code quality. This is also probably why recurring theme, right? Why the Linux and open source stuff is so much in demand, because lots of things do not just work. To unzip, but leave me in the comments below. Wow, binutils now also built. Interesting. Okay, and then we have one more. Probably Pulse Audio or something more serious. And let's maybe try proc info. So this is probably yeah, format string warning thing, if this is the only thing. This is of course not so okay, Pulse Audio also doesn't just build. Let's check in a second. So the point is, of course, I need to do it anyway, right? Obviously our Linux distribution needs to freaking work TM. So certainly why more and more people switch over and use that for their embedded work and custom server virtualization and container orchestration and everything it takes to make it so. So that is format security. We could patch it. The question is how many of... Oh, there's also freaking register. Yeah, so this kind of premature optimization, which I mean I used very rarely in image processing loops. Yeah, that is also quite silly to be. I mean, this is kind of stuff that really frustrates me, right? Frustrates me. Like this, like yes, every educated developer for 20 years knows already with modern compilers since GCC 3 or whatever, kind of sort of whatever, basically 20 years. Like register rarely helps premature micro optimization that since the 90s doesn't make sense anymore. But basically Clang could also just ignore it, like just YOLO, who freaking cares? Like just don't use this attribute. But yeah. It's also silly that this is still in proc info. I mean, maybe it's even in some of my code. Actually, should I check that? Okay, there is, okay, that is not really, that's image and codec. Because it is just register for the fixture. Actually, it takes this back. Even I don't use it in my, obviously. It's like, yeah, again, since 20 years, the compilers are much better allocating registers and so on, and code analysis and stuff. I just don't freaking do that. The crazy thing is also, on top of everything I quickly do here, I also need to sort this better. This register, I believe. It's probably also stuff like what I mean with this. I don't really want to always do that. So basically, I mean, we could. This wasn't edit mode. I hope I didn't. Because theoretically, all the stuff needs to be. Because we wouldn't want to add those options if we build with GCC. SDE config default cc equals clang. Yeah. Might fix it. So what's up with Pulse Audio? So basically, a recurring theme, I want to quickly go through all the build errors, right? This is a job of open source. Code monkeys. All right, this wasn't this neo nonsense. Holy shit. That is super silly. That is a base. Right, I remember. So this is the kind of stuff I remember. I did this 2 days ago. So this is also one step forward and one step, or 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You fix some stuff, you change it, and okay, this also doesn't build yet because nah. This is not yet enough. Constant expression coming from type into double time routines. This is absolutely cannot be non-constant expression cannot be narrowed from type into double. But double has, why not? By the way, double has how many? 53 bits of precision, and int has 32. So this is mostly, yeah, it's like, nah. This gets also, I slightly wonder, because it's getting a little bit long, I wonder if we should support new lines here, escape new lines. You know what, theoretically that is a C++ option. And we don't have this was just illustration purposes only, we don't have support for that. So yeah, okay, we could actually, I mean, we have CXX or something of that sort. What even was the option for? So C++ stuff overrides I use seldomly. Was our name CXX? So this Pulse Audio thing, actually, I believe this would error. Oh, this is an extremely crazy case. Oh, darn it. Okay, this narrowing stuff doesn't work. Yeah, darn it. Which is the latest? Maybe that one, 1240. 1220. How does this fold? Okay, fine. Basically, when it takes longer to manually parse it, we're just probably one of those. Okay, we have CXX wrapper, but GCC. Okay, this is why this doesn't work. And SDE config default CXX. And so this, because we generically add unused command line arguments, I believe this is hiding, like not whining about those that I just said. Okay. So in a way, to summarize it, it is also silly, right? All those warnings, this is sort of, in my opinion, packages should not enable all those warnings by default, or maybe not even compilers. Because if other people build it, most normal users who compile source or packages don't care. They just want it built. They don't just, that is the thing, right? Usually they don't care, but then if you see it, maybe they would improve the code. But most of the time it's also just waste of time, because I cannot not only get it all built with all this architectures, compiler variants and so on, and also improve the code on top of it, right? How many changes? Because 84 changes again. This is also super silly that this, maybe I should do this more right and not, because we should also not, for Meson we anyway need ignoring those unused arguments, because otherwise more stuff fails. Basically, we should probably do that right and not even try that for non-ARM. There's also this upstream stuff, right? Sure, let's try to compile ARM, Neon, Instrix and stuff for any architecture where it doesn't even have a chance to work. It's like, you had one job. Hotfix. So what do we have here? Okay, that is other stuff. So basically, oh wait, do we even have a, wait, here's CPU family ARM. Neon checks are automatically done by the unstable SIMD module. No, that sounds amazing. Well, how does it even build? They have here CPU family ARM. That is a little bit funny. Where is this coming from, or is it from subdirectories? This is so silly. Like basically warn about unused command line arguments except when we need to. That is so silly. So usually it's only causing issues. Oh, this is also, oh no, wait, this is here. Where is it even freaking coming from? Yeah, so MFPU Neon. Actually, even it freaking warns. I just said, is it not unused command line arguments? But actually we have the warning here. So we get the freaking warning, just like we usually don't want to, and it's like the code is extern int I. It's like, let's say they test Neon presence with extern int I. This is why nowadays I have a solid old-fashioned date code, serial number. Doesn't matter. Good old-fashioned power supply to slam into my forehead. Yeah, I have no further questions. It's like, hey, at least there is open source and Linux skills demand for. Also, I don't want to. No, it's not even again rolling. Oh God. I probably should not have my precious vintage gear so that I roll over the precious vintage cables. And welcome everyone. No 80 plus gold. No, this is some pre 80 plus gold things. But Enamax 80x12 Volt version 1.2. It is so old it doesn't even have date code. I have some new thing to test though. So if you want, so that is for my vintage. But if you want latest and greatest, I have here something that I still need to unbox. So don't forget to like, subscribe for one of the most amazing power supplies that just fell down on my soldering iron. Achievement unlocked. That is why I should stop holding boxes. So probably has good efficiency in here. It's old crap from an AMD-K6 system or AMD-K7 or whatever it was back in the day. Anyway, so yeah, how do we tackle? I mean, where is it even freaking coming from? Because this doesn't grab much here. So is that some freaking? This is so silly that now we need to find a freaking workaround. This is so silly. Here is some ARM neon. Here is import unstable SIMD. Maybe it is here. Yeah, here is something. Maybe there is a reason this bloody module is unstable. Can we conditionalize this? I mean, we could maybe grep compiler support. Yeah, it's a very yes. I found it already. Probably the stream is liking some. Thank you already. It's most likely this one. I mean, we could probably. So the problems we have. I mean, this is anyway silly because it probably similarly fails for x86 for all the others if other architectures try to build MMX, SSE and Neon support. I mean, basically, where do they have some assignments? How do SIMDlib 0, so SIMDlib plus equal for each SMD variant, so that is this one here. In SMD then compiles Neon code. Actually, this looks like they at least have some. What do they even do here? So theoretically, they have that here. maybe that is other code that fails differently. It's mostly there. I mean, maybe we should quickly check. If it is this here. We probably need to remason. Didn't see it instantly. How did we build this? Ninja and stuff. Let's see what happens. Failed outside, but I guess it built only virtuous round conf. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, it was this file, which is a little bit puzzling. At least on a first glance, it looks like it is this file. Because they iterate here for each ARM and Neon in IMD. Okay, but it needs to be ARM and Neon. Or is it additionally? If not compiles, continue otherwise. The pool score is IMD. See data merge from the pools as IMD1. It looks a little bit like they test for that. It's a little bit funny that they have special coded ARM Neon here and not MMXSSE. So maybe this is only additional. What do they do with this MD variance? It's only, so this should only. Maybe they, okay, they don't drop, you know what? The logic bug is like that, I believe. So also, the recurring theme, right? For 25 years, I every month learn some other domain-specific build system, and I'm really sick and tired of it. On news sites, yay, a new build system, the like, greatest invention since sliced bread, and I sit here like, another domain-specific buggy stuff. So I believe, as far as I understood this here, because they only check here for ARM, they only test this and would drop over this if it's freaking ARM. And on x86, they then apparently always add this here, as far as I've seen. So basically, did I run? So basically with this test, if Neon and SMD that, and so basically with that the test should always compile, although the other, I mean the best thing would probably be to fix this unstable SMD stuff, not even to put it in there, but then it's also double testing that if that would work. But yeah, this is just silly and sad. But that's probably why open source and Linux skills are in high demand. So yeah, I guess that could potentially fix it. It's crazy. Welcome to my life. And why? You probably don't wanna delay and do embedded. Don't do it like Volkswagen if you want to have a successful embedded group. You know where you can find us here live on YouTube. The only question is what is with this right outside base dear thing. But yeah, this stuff is so buggy and strange, sure. They reinvented configure, make, install, and yet stuff fails. Oh, that even builds despite whatever out of maybe we run. Yeah. Anyway, amazing stuff. I wonder how this... maybe it builds with GCC, this is unstable. So much to, hey, everyone use Clang and stuff, it's much more amazing. Besides, it's not consistently more amazing. It's also a ton load or whole container ship load full of new bugs. Hashtag peak bugs, only constant is change and regressions. Yep. What was with Clang? What was with GCC? We could check. I mean, we are nearly. We're basically through. It's like I'm not fixing this XF86 stuff. It's like yeah, YOLO, whatever. We can fix maybe one or another here. Could not locate p-thread detach, probably due to other warnings. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah. Missing argument to parameter. So yeah, extern and incompatible pointer to integer converting parsing. So yeah, that probably is maybe why this fails. Like yeah, 2023 and people have the craziest configure bullshit. And then you wonder why I spent my... Yeah, the sad thing is... people become more famous on YouTube counting to 100,000 than ourselves fixing 100,000 bugs live on YouTube. By the way, let's test something. Theoretically by priority I would have at the end. So SDE config default cc probably should program some macros so it's not like my Sun type 6 keyboard has not some unused 10 extra function keys, like using undo and redo and stuff. Yeah, and that is what I said 10 minutes ago with, is it worth, are all those warnings and diagnostics worth it? I would argue, again, theoretically it could motivate people, so I would argue it's 80% useless. Most people don't want to see it, it's basically only for the programmers, so I think, as I said 10 minutes ago already, it could motivate people to fix some stuff, but honestly, as everything is so broken, and those people who build stuff and make everything working like ourselves, we cannot change, like I'm not going here and fix your freaking configure test, right? Because like nobody is paying us for that, right? I mean, it's good enough if someone like the Volkswagen Group or someone pays us for some fixes here or there. It's not like Google or Apple or Facebook will pay us like making their configure checks better. It's like there is no freaking market for that, right? And there is also more important, like it's enough that it builds for us 30 plus architecture build configurations in this just raw and most amazing Linux distribution. But yeah, that's it. Question there, recurring theme, sir, how to get started with Linux kernel development. I said this 100 times, but for user 101 times, you probably want to like, subscribe and watch every live stream, obviously, also my precious cables. My recurring suggestion is do what you're interested in. The question is also, do you want to do it? Because although the skills are in demand, payment is difficult unless you get a job at Google and Amazon, but maybe that's what you want. But like if you want to get it, because otherwise like doing your own company or other stuff might be, or application development might at times be more well paid. But if you want to get into that, if you've made the choice, you like kernel stuff, my recommendation is do what you are interested in. If you're a storage person, do storage. If you're a graphic person, do graphic. If you're just a curious person and you're just interested in how something works, like scheduler, efficiency, other tips and tricks and stuff, yeah, do what you're interested in. Unless if you're purely focused on money, then of course choose what has the highest, like, or security research or whatever. Like if you're in general security, do general security. But yeah, that's either choose what you're the most interested in or choose what pays the best. That's probably fair recommendations. And leave me always feedback welcome. Leave me in the comments below. What's your take on that stuff? So yeah, this is NTP. Some stuff is pure madness. I wonder what was GDB. I also, so iffy, what was, oh, there's also freaking cron. Although one is also format security and stuff. Let's see what's going on with this cron. I only basically do this to have a chance to eventually ship it right. X wasn't default in later, not support implicit. Oh yeah, it's like, yeah, Google also funding rewriting cron and stuff. Although most people probably don't run it anymore because they use timing services from systemd. It's like, yeah, I really wonder why is this code quality like I would have never written code like this. And when I was young and naive, I have not written. This is really 70s or 80s style initial C variant questionable code quality style. If I would have ever written young and naive such young and naive code, I would have fixed it the last 25 years in the meantime. It is just silly. It's, yeah. Is it the only error, or it's ridiculous? Stuff fails for such trivial nonsense. We will soon write our own cron stuff because I want all new code and more any day on the More Life channel. So this was not updated in ages because it's bit rotten stuff. Config. Yeah, Google funding rewriting this in Rust, but this code mostly unmaintained because YOLO. Config default cc equals clang, then GTC wrapper. And so there are, I probably should say there are some other means we could do this. We could patch the default warnings from Clang, but that would have the drawback that if you use Clang and T2, you would not get the warnings. We could more generically insert them always, which maybe we should actually do. Because basically, if even I, as a hardcore full stack and low level developer, I'm not interested in those warnings. Yes, I know already for 25 years all the code quality is subpar, not amazing and stuff. So this was this stuff. So I'm not interested. Like I mean, I would be interested, but I know it already, and it's like I learn nothing new from that. And it's like yeah, -1 enum. Yeah, GNU free software foundation code quality. Also, but that's also the language lawyer stuff, right? Even the GCC people always language lawyering. Hey, we are allowed to do that. The C standard says implementation defined, undefined, and so on. And then even compiler vendors like Free Software Foundation, GCC versus Clang. It's like language lawyering each other. It's like, hey, we don't build your code because we language lawyer more than you. It's like, instead of improving, like instead of having a C++ variant that is more amazing like Rust for 20 years, we have C 23, C++ 23, and everything is not amazing, and yeah, stuff failing like it's the 80s. So let's see if we can simply quirk that away. Config default CC. I wonder if that is a default, because I don't think the makefile will add this. So I have the feeling that might be default, or is it? Do we build with WAll? Or maybe this is coming in from WAll or something. So yeah, they probably. I mean, maybe we should simply, and that's also the thing, I've not committed most of them. This is usually why my working copies accumulate with 90 or yesterday 180 or 90 SED things. Maybe we should simply, so probably that is, you know what, let's probably try that. So let's, because basically it's verseless, right? The only drawback is I would need to rebuild everything yet again a third time, and that is also like why I have here the latest overkill builds. Epic Threadripping Ryzen 1750X, 96 gigs of memory and stuff, 6000 mega transfers overclocked and so on. Undercooled der Bauer offset mounting and stuff, just because rebuild, and more rebuilds. The only constant is rebuilding and faster to build across. So do we have some WAll here, by the way? We could do that here. By the way, maybe this is new. And we do this generically because, like, basically we're not interested in that all the stuff breaks, right? So it's only, I probably should, but I mean, sometimes it takes 30 minutes, right? You always say, why have I not done this earlier, like yesterday, or why have I not do this 20 years ago? Probably 20 years, if like for the last 20 years, we mostly built with GCC and everyone built with GCC. So it was just building, and it's a relatively new thing. And even with Clang, right? I built all the stuff with Clang 2 years ago and it was building, but new Clang warnings, probably from the last year or two, caught that. So it's, okay, this still does not build. So where is, we should do I not have, why do I not have, I don't see WAll here. What typo did I make? KCC wrapper. Wait, why is here? Did I do that wrong? I thought I have only, okay, I didn't do that. Interesting. No, this was KCC for some reason. Interesting. We only did this for, then I don't know why we only had this for KCC, but wait, here's GCC. Here we remove, here's even W error and W extra. So we remove actually, so We removed the ton, just not W all error direct. Maybe we sort this a little bit. Extra, I mean. It is certainly also that with even GCC, not only Clang but GCC, of course, every year they add more diagnostics because further static analyzing the decades of broken C code. And yeah, so it's not only Clang, it's also GCC constantly breaking random stuff for the reasons. Yeah, we should have done that longer, but now okay, this why does it still not work? It might be that it's remove W all, extra W error. So okay, they actually, you know what? They even add here other warnings like write strings, strict prototypes, missing prototypes, old style. So much to remove some stuff, but so all of this does not even help for this. I wonder slightly then, is this a Clang default? Do we have a Clang info page? Yeah. Restrict non-fixed anomalies. Here's some documentation. That is, it's like maybe this is so new you don't even like. Don't even have a freaking man page. We could check, do I have it unpacked? Maybe not. It's like, yeah, recurrently so much full stack and low level, we recurrently debug around in compilers and compare and modify and stuff. It's also a pro tip, don't be afraid of this, just do it. A long time it's like when I was young and naive, 25 years ago, I was always a little bit afraid of GCC and stuff, but yeah, pro tip, don't be afraid, just debug everywhere around. It's just also imperfect code. So diagnostic so the question, is this default error? Maybe that is a, oh no, I lost the copy and paste stuff. Default error in group group enum conversion. Does default error mean it is on by default? Sounds a little bit like that, doesn't it? Yeah, so much to why have you not. This is funny, these are the only two default error things together with where's even the freaking warn import ms struct warning, Microsoft compatible layout with fundamental data types, power of 2 in group. I don't even see the freaking this is probably warn ms struct. This is probably, or not. Oh no, wait. This is a bit strange to read. You know, where is the? There is dear group enum compatible ms struct. It's more strange. Okay, whatever. It looks a little bit. This is a little bit. Nah. Recently not the most impressed by Clang code, but that is another issue. So yeah, why did you not just W error and extra and stuff? It's like, it's not part of this anyway. So after improving that, we apparently need it anyway because it might be enabled by default, because it's so important that not even the GDB code builds with it. So yeah, one improvement there, one improvement there. So the thing is, what did we just build? Like cron. Now we could actually test with our generic W error removal stuff. Could actually check if we need that. That would be a benefit of, okay, even that might be a generic. Even that we need because, yeah, no, this is, okay, this is apparently, this is apparently a ISO C99 default implicit int warning. So yeah, despite W so much to W error. So yeah, this is apparently so hard. Yeah, okay, so like doesn't help us the most. Yeah. Okay, let's see. We have a couple of more. Do I have that here? No, but at least GCC even theoretically. Let's see what happens with that. Yeah, it is the amount of, yeah, if you're new to this channel, I know how bit rotten and too often questionable too much open source. This is also why we have so much supply chain stuff, right? People don't pay like big mega corporations don't pay open source developers usually or much. They just use and what made it click now? Power supply? Whatever. It's like, yeah, they have like log4j and OpenSSL and stuff, and it's like, it doesn't surprise me because I work with the sources for longest time already, 25 years, right? So I guess we are approaching the system could actually be installable. There's very few stuff left. I mean, we obviously don't need man. I mean, CPIO would actually be nice to mostly to build an initRD, which is CPIO compressed these days. Okay, there is LTO, so that is, what even did we, men. I might have tried this yesterday already and it didn't work. Let's, wait, this was the wrong one. Okay, that also fails with whatever. So I would think GCC should be buildable by yeah, wow, that is this is actually crazy that even the C code may be missing a header. I mean, this looks like maybe one header, but it is crazy that that is a different. Okay, that also undefined reference to pub install post fork. Yeah. Not really. Oh, you have. Yeah. So there are packages that fail more. The crazy stuff is it built with GCC, right? So. GCC. Let's see if we can. That is DLFCNH. That was plugin C or CC. It always surprises me that it somehow builds with GCC and then with clicks as less and the header not included. It is what it is. Let's see if that is enough to fix it. Major. Yeah, that is so silly. It might be, so that is might be a link test, so that might be fixable with whatever the warning was. But yeah, it is so silly that I need to spend my time on this. And these are major things. It's not like some unsuccessful hobby project. These are major free software foundation operating system components. So yeah, major is, wait, size of major 0, is that, this is strange code. Yeah, just as expected. Why do they even end? Because major, so this is in this is not even a super, this is a rather exotic Unix thing that nowadays glibc moved that. I believe it's now in this macros.h or so. It's like, why they need to test this just with that exotic symbol. Yeah. But ain't surprised me much anymore. I mean, if we conditionalize, I mean, the only benefit, you know what, if we would conditionalize this differently, because there were suggestions to conditionalize this stuff like that here. I mean, if we would conditionalize this, I mean, the question is, should we really do that? Because then we could write, I mean, this is just like brainstorming what we could have. But I think maybe that is too much, especially that is probably complicating code in places that I don't want to complicate. Default, as you see. Yeah, it is silly. Oh, GCC is still building. So yeah, that's it for this video. Then it's probably time to install the power supply that I just dropped live on this channel. Yeah. It's probably nicely packed, isn't it? It's also heavy. Yeah, it's in quite some. This probably should be fine, huh? Oh, it smells so much. By the way, Rick, as we have already some people, like power supply, right? Not a bit advertisement, just some stuff I got from my overkill bit. It smells like a plastic factory, right? Pro tip, customers, can you not, companies, can you not use recycled cardboard stuff for packaging? Like, why does it need, this also builds now, why does it need such environmentally unfriendly foam stuff that smells like, get some brain damage from this stuff. So anyway, so yeah, we're getting there. Do you want a, are you up for a all Clang system? Leave me in the comments below. And not that I would PPP. Okay, this so like, so plug in one header, right? This is so crazy. Like, how is it even possible that the GCC just built it? Maybe actually maybe the GCC developer don't read their warnings, right? Maybe it would have warned of, hey, implicit declaration and stuff, and the GCC developers like, so much build output, we don't even freaking care ourselves about build warnings. This is also super crazy when this build sys. I remember that. I just don't get what does PPP do there that it needs to run that? That is so silly. Like, what are you even freaking doing in your it's like freaking why? That is absolutely mind-blowing, to be honest. Because you don't even need that. I mean, why does this error out? Is there something in... Because... yeah, this is so not how you're doing it. This is absolutely crazy. By the way, I mean, not only do we have like also hard-coded EAP, SRP, SH1, user local SSL include. Like if you, because that is a system include path and thing, like if you include with OpenSSL something, you don't need all this stuff here at all. See if that is enough to get this building, which would obviously... Okay, GCC fails differently, because of course it does. Use of undeclared identifier fancy abort? Are you kidding me? C++ tool server, unsupported print might also somehow continued here. Yeah, so much to building GCC with Cling. Stop reader. Oh wait, is it the right one? Yeah. Why do I even bother? Or is it a... Ah, maybe that is an SDL that I... Yeah, okay, so they don't include with... Yeah, that is... I mean, if they would prefix that with... The question is how many OpenSSL things do they have? It's like... Okay, those are actually prefixed with OpenSSL. Okay, these are local includes. Which did it not find? DESH. So yeah, problem solved. Don't need to run fancy nonsense. Except, what is this now? Function definition is not allowed here. EAP TLS 520. What the fuck are you even effing trying to do here? Is it a GNU extension local function or what? You can't mix this shit up. So they use freaking PPP cling GNU local function patch. It's like you can't mix this stuff up. Nah, you had me at nah. Okay, fine, then no. PPP. So yeah, that's basically it. I mean, yeah, we have so much to build everything with Clang. Yeah, theoretically Firefox, but whatever. Nothing really too. I mean, let's try the last two medium. And the other was HFS utils for those who want to access their Apple stuff. Someone's asking what are the requirements for Linux kernel development. I mean, the requirement is just that you can read. I mean, there is basically no requirements, right? It's just YOLO, you only live once, YOLO it at home. Learn C or Rust, although most stuff is still C. So basically learn C, understand kernel code, and it's like requirements and a freaking patch. And like if it's not code quality enough, they will tell you. So it's basically, that's of course a benefit of open source stuff, right? You can just do it, and if someone finds it useful and correct and stable enough, might eventually get applied. So yeah, implicit function declaration. So what I probably will do, so we could patch that, but the other day we patched it at times, but this is too much stuff of other people's broken low quality code. So we will simply SDE default CC clang YOLO it. Yeah, touch the mouse wheel. And HS is something more serious, but this might be something super simple, like some unsupported option. Type specifier, this is implicit in, yeah, it might be something simple as you can't. Code quality from Apple, Apple's past hell, because this code I believe is copy and pasted with Apple's open source, Open Darwin, Mac stuff. So yeah. Should have programmed a freaking macro for this stuff. Oh, cool. This differently still failed. Deprecated on. Oh, this is actually a warning. Where's a freaking error? Conflicting types. Type specifier missing defaults to int. Did I not do that? Or is it? Maybe this is because it defaults to int, and then maybe this fix doesn't. Maybe. Let's see. I have the feeling this will not fix it, but we will. Oops. We will give it one try. I have the feeling this will not fix it, but. Oh, darn it. What's going on here now? Error on the input files. Unsupported print. Oh wait, what? Oh, this is the wrong one. Which HFS? Yeah. Can't make this stuff up. Yeah, why is this ain't impressing much anymore? Okay, this is warning. Yeah, I expected this already. So we basically, which freaking failing TCP wrappers. Is there even freaking new version? Probably this code is so abundant that Actually, nobody even freaking maintains this shit anymore. It's 7.6. TCP repro 7.6. Yeah, YOLO, whatever. Nah, not my department. So, some people like all this bug fixing so, and tune in, that is always amazing. As always, don't forget to share, like and subscribe, maybe Patreon or YouTube membership. And let's see if we can fix quickly somehow my visas log. Yeah, this is so old style of like you had me at this nonsense here. So okay, this where does it even freaking fail? Okay, here's actually extend void and stuff. Why does it have expanded macro from... Is this even detecting something wrong? This log, this log, what's going on here? Does it even have a configure? Oh, by the way, I run my own videos, that is not ideal for snappiness. No, I directly built that. So what's in the make file for my v? Oh, here's actually this log to my this log. If your system supports this log, comment out the following. If in doubt, leave it in. It won't harm. Let's see if... So yeah, we probably incorrectly... Oh, this was probably void, huh? Maybe we can YOLO that with void. No. Of course it does. Ah, wait, did I... Looks like I mangled this. I probably pressed the wrong. That comes from running an VI improved editor operating system and not NVI or so. Fat fingering some stuff, so... Let's try that again, this time without deleting all the stuff. Okay, that worked. I call it anyway Clang because they complain the most. It might also affect GCC. Let's quickly see if we still need the 2 workarounds. So we at least need some. Let's see if we need that. I have the feeling maybe not. Not to clutter too much random stuff in there. Okay, we don't need that anymore, just expected. So yeah, that's mostly a useful system, and that's it for this video. As usual, probably over 1 hour. Because of course it takes so long to fix all this stuff. Yeah, there is still some stuff including Python. Did this magically fix itself with more? I mean, iffy, it's like, yeah, but I cannot create executes. Let's quickly check what crazy stuff is going on there, because obviously Python is a little bit more required. Unsupported option. So this is a little bit of a silly one. I don't quite... Okay, here's anyway more shittiness going on with incompatible stuff, so it's a little bit strange. I'm not really sure how -v, because it sounds a little bit like this is generated to one argument. I mean, you could debug that. Maybe is this a... I mean, there is always a slim possibility that this is a bug in our wrapper. Yeah, it is reproducible like that. GCC wrapper debug. Ah, awesome. Yeah. So our wrapper does this complex stuff. So insert a one conditional arc, pipe, hot, march, copy, additional append, conditional, yada yada yada, new command. This, it doesn't look so conditional, that should be somewhere here. Here, append. So on a first glance, it doesn't really look like it's our code at fault, I would hope. So this, because the quoting here looks a little bit like it's passed as one. Yeah, crazy. I mean, we could does this probably not tell us much. So they say unrecognized command line -v. I wonder if the Clang command line parsing, can this really be? This is absolutely bizarre command line parsing errors, but now the next. So yeah, something is going strange there. And I mean, we could s-trace it, but so basically we could s-trace f no limit verbose and exec vp or stuff, exec ve. And then exec ve Clang, and here are the arcs. And yeah, this is not a bug in ours, so this is clearly run as -v. So I would call this some Clang. It's like, yeah, only left on this channel. Clang command line. Oh, it's like, yeah, command line argument parsing is rocket science and too difficult for compiler engineers. But that's it for this video. It's not super important. I mean, actually, we could probably partially YOLO that because it is only added for LTO, so we could simply not LTO it. No LTO Clang, and see if that already improves a thing or two. Greetings to China. How are things there, Tom? Maybe it builds longer. So yeah, then next are also HFS utils is building amazing stuff, and then we only have a whopping 100 working copy changes. Only 96. My guesstimate was 4% off. Okay, Python appears to build a little bit longer without LTO, but more. What's going on now? Python, hello. Call to undeclared, yada yada, implicit. So like, yeah, C is so difficult. Even Python with Clang being default on macOS for a decade and stuff, and some Linux versions. 2023 Python POSIX module call to undeclared function chflex. Yeah, is it even? Yeah, whatever. Let's see if we can YOLO that, because we love YOLOing so much. Other people drop their expensive Epic and Xeon CPUs, other people YOLO their open sources. My fingers get a little bit. Oh, I should have macro programmed it. No implicit function declaration. Let's try that. You know what? Let's show you the matrix. But that's. Don't ask, do I use VI or Vim? For 20 years I used VI, except, well, for 20 years I used VI, I used NVI on the command line, because why not? Give me a freaking editor that can barely edit text files and that's fine. And Emacs for huge sources as IDE, but now I don't really want two VIs in my system, so now I use Vim without much improved stuff. Hey, maybe this installs, unless it builds the modules later. And yeah, because most people expect Vim anyway, and then I don't want NVI and Vim. Also, I think NVI recently gave me some page size warning whatsoever, so yeah, anyway. So that's it for this video, just when I got a phone call, so don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon for the next fun stuff to come.